Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Please make sure that you subscribe and like this video. If you click the ring button, you will get notifications for whenever I put out a new video. In today's video, we're going to do a rundown of the requirements for Qkids and the pay and the schedule, everything that you need to know. So let's jump right in. So the requirements for Qkids have recently updated as of August 2019. If you are a new applicant, then you have to have a bachelor's degree. So if you are not a current teacher, you're a new teacher that's applying to come into the company, you have to have a bachelor's degree. You have to live in the United States or Canada and be a native speaker. You have to have a TEFL or TESOL certificate. It says preferred, but if you don't have a state teaching certificate, then once you are hired, they will ask you to work on your TEFL or TESOL. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to have it during the hiring process. So if you would like to wait to see if you actually get hired, then you can go and find a fast track TEFL or TESOL certificate. But they are preferred, listed as preferred. And right now, current teachers who have a bachelor's degree and do not have a state teaching license, we have to get the teaching certificate, the TEFL or TESOL. So just expect that ahead of time, and then they will ask you once you get hired. So you can wait to spend the money, but just so you know, that is kind of coming down the line with the People's Republic of China and their regulations. So you also have to have a headset. They prefer that you do have a mouse so you can show kids click. You have to have a laptop that will run the required software, and then some quick internet and a really bubbly personality. So I will put a picture of the requirements right here. Okay, next let's talk about pay. So our classes are 30 minutes long, but they do ask that you enter the classroom between 5 and 3 minutes before the start of class. So I really tell people you're looking at up to 35 minutes of work. So you get paid $8 a class for 35 minutes of work. You can also earn an attendance bonus if you teach 15 classes a week. So once you hit that 15 class mark, you get an extra dollar for every class of that week. And then you also can earn a performance bonus. So a performance bonus is given if all the parents in the class that you taught rate you at least a 4 out of 5. So there are feedback tags that they can give you that are green or red, and that just kind of lets you know what you did well and what they think that you can improve on. You're not given your performance bonus on the tags. You're actually given your performance bonus the number rating. So it's 1 to 5. So if you get a 4 or a 5 from all of the parents, we teach up to 4 kids in a class. So if you get a 4 out of 5 from all the parents, you get an extra dollar. So you can earn up to $10 for the 30-minute class plus the 5-minute introduction and sound check time frame. All right. And then also, if you have a standby class, so standby class is where you are acting as backup for a teacher in case they have some kind of technical difficulty or they don't show up, then you would stand in for that class. If it doesn't convert and you do not teach, so you have to stay till 3 minutes after class starts. You have to stay 3 minutes before up until 3 minutes after. If it doesn't convert to a class, you get $4. And a standby does count towards your attendance bonus. So it would count as one of your 15 classes to be able to get that attendance bonus. There's also such a thing as a vacant class. These are very rare, but let's say Qkids puts a class out there that's available and nobody books it, and class time comes around, it doesn't switch to another class. If you wait 10 minutes and nobody shows up, then you get the full amount of pay for that class. This is the same thing for a student no-show. So you would get your $8 plus your attendance bonus if nobody shows up for class, but you're there. You have to wait 10 minutes and take a snapshot. Next, let's talk about when we are paid. So we are paid once a month. It goes directly to my bank account. The earliest I have seen people paid is the 7th, but it's the 7th through the 15th is typically the range of time when you would receive your payment for the previous month of work. So we're coming up on September. So by September 15th, I will be paid for August's work. Does that make sense? Once a month. Okay, the schedule. So the schedule changes a couple times a year. So in the summer, our summer hours for 2019 were
June 30th through August 31st.
And so in the summertime, when the kids are out of school, there are 4 classes in the morning, 7 days a week. There are also 5 classes in the evening, 7 days a week. So you can teach 9 classes a day, 7 days a week from June 30th to August 31st. Okay? In the school year, when kids go back to school, so in September, the schedule changes. So there's the 4 classes in the morning are still available, but evening classes are only available on Friday and Saturday evenings. And there are 5 classes on Friday night and 5 classes on Saturday night. Now the time does change, like when the time falls back, then classes will start at 5:40 a.m. Eastern. When the time springs forward, then the classes would start at 6:40 a.m. Eastern. Does that make sense? Same thing goes for the evening classes. So when the time falls back, the classes start at 7:40 p.m. Eastern. And then when the time springs forward, the classes start at 8:40 p.m. Eastern. I'll put a schedule up, but you can actually see this on the Qkids website. If you go to Facts, there's a tab there called Facts, and you can see the class time. Next, we're going to talk about flexibility. So this job is super flexible. They have a policy where if you go into the phone app and it shows your schedule and you need to request off, as long as you do it 5 hours ahead of the start of class, there is no penalty. It doesn't go on your attendance record. It doesn't hit your bonus. There's nothing. You're not like charged anything, nothing. If you call off 5 hours ahead of time, then you're good. Yeah, so like tonight, if I have an 8:40 p.m. class, as long as I call off before 3:40, so if something comes up, your kid's sick, or you want to just go somewhere for dinner, something's come up, you can call off. You can just type unavailable or whatever the reason is. I'm sick or my kid's sick, and it cancels the class with no penalty. Now, if you cancel between 5 hours and the start of class and you give a notice, it's like cancellation with notice, and it's after the 5-hour mark. So let's say you cancel 3 hours before class starts and you cancel and let them know. You can do that 4 times. Well, on the 4th time that you do that, then you lose your attendance bonus for the week. So if you taught 20 classes, but you called off short notice 4 classes, then you would lose your $20 attendance bonus. Now there's also a no-show. So if you sleep through your alarm just 1 time for the week, you lose your attendance bonus automatically. So if you don't show up for class, let's say you're in the bathroom or something happens and you didn't tell them beforehand and you thought you could make it back, but you don't, and you missed the class, then you lose your attendance bonus. It happened to me this week. I was coming back from like a few days off, and we switched to a new baby monitor and it's on my phone. And so I opened it up and I still had my alarm on, but I guess because I had the app open, my alarm didn't go off. So I missed my first class, and there goes my attendance bonus. It's like really painful in the summer when you're teaching a lot of classes, but the policy is very flexible. So it's painful if you don't show up, but if you need flexibility as far as just being able to, you know, work around your significant other's schedule. Like my husband's work schedule flip-flops every week. So there's certain days, like on one week, I might work the fourth morning class on Monday, Tuesday, Friday. And then the next week, I work that fourth morning class on Wednesday, Thursday. So it works along my husband's schedule. So the flexibility is awesome. I mean, just they're very understanding too. So it's great. The other thing is types of classes. So there's a bunch of different types of classes. There's a lot of variety. We have the general series. So it goes over different life, things you encounter in life, like how to act at a movie theater, how to order at a restaurant, um, different types of events you would go to in a city, like a marathon or an art show or a robot show. That's the general series. And it's levels 1 through level 11. So levels 1 through 5 are considered lowers. So you're generally teaching kids, I don't know, up to maybe 8 years old, 9 years old. Sometimes there's a 10-year-old in there. And then the uppers are kids that are very fluent. So that's like level 6 through 11. And you are usually asked to teach uppers. So when you first come in, you'll generally teach the lower levels. And then if they think that you have the personality and teaching style to teach the uppers, then you would move on to teach the uppers. There's also phonics. So you are invited specifically by our coach to teach phonics. And then we have science classes. Science classes right now are invitation only, but they're going to open them up to all teachers if there is enough demand. Um, we have starter classes. So starter classes are for children that are brand new to learning English, and it kind of eases them into our platform. And there is some well, there was. I don't know if there still is. I was doing the starter classes during the pilot, and there was actually some Chinese overlay, so they wouldn't feel so uncomfortable. Like it would say it in English and then it would say it in Chinese, but I feel like they might have taken that out, but I'm not sure. But anyway, the starter classes are before they start the general series, and it's 10 classes, and it goes over like colors and fruit and vehicles, things like that. So they're really cute, and they have improved those classes a lot because there used to be not a lot of material, and then they've provided some extension games and such. So lots of different classes. We do typically teach 4 students a class. That's the most common. There are classes that parents can book with only 2 students, and then they do offer 1v1s. Okay, so that's one teacher and one student, and those are fixed students. And so with fixed students, you have to have a really good attendance record. And I think that they require that you teach the student at least 3 months, the commitment, and the latest you can call off for those classes is like 24 hours ahead of time. They want 24-hour notice so that they can work with the parents to see if they would like another teacher for that day. Or if they're just going to skip and wait for you to come back. So we do teach that. There's a bunch of different types of classes, and there's 1v4, 1v2, and 1v1. So I hope this gives you a good idea about Qkids. Please check out some of my other videos to gain some more knowledge while you're researching. And if you'd like to apply, I certainly would appreciate if you would use my referral code. My code is O, not 0, O, the letter O, VYSZZ. I'll put it right here below. Please email me at qkidscourtney@gmail.com if you do use my referral code so that I can contact you and work through the hiring process with you. Again, thanks for watching and happy teaching.